Figured I'd go live while you were doing that, just to see how much I could catch. Anyway.
Dang.
Hi, everybody. My name is Holly, aka the Scientology Geek. I am here with the amazing TiltyBird, and I am here to, I guess, substitute for Fluffer Squirrel, because Fluffer could not take any more torment of the emotional tone scale. Tilty, why don't you, since you've already gone through some of this with Fluffer, why don't you just give your opinion overall on what you've experienced so far?
My eyes rolled back into my skull. And it made more sense than one sentence that was written in this pamphlet. Broke me a little bit. You can tell by my hair. It's still not, I'm not recovered. I don't understand.
It almost makes me scared of what I'm gonna be dealing with today. Because now, mind you, I have not actually read this book yet, so that's a thing.
Okay, I love that. Also, is this the affirmations?
That thing I emailed you is the affirmations, not this. This is
okay.
that tone scale
Okay,
book.
So because of the affirmations, I'm making this little like Valentine.
Let me fix the view.
Oh, let me turn my lamp on too. How about that?
There we go. Actually, we'll zoom in here. So
it's not done yet. This is what I'm working on.
That I have something.
Only friendship for Jack Parsons.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I'm gonna think about it every day before I go to sleep and wake up and pray that I only have friendship for Jack Parsons. And I don't think about him masturbating 12 days in a row every single time I have any out 2D. And I didn't steal his wife and his boat to compensate for the fact that I can't tell him how I really feel.
Oh my god. The funny thing is, again, like this book, I had never read many of the affirmations. I read like the last ones, like the no snakes living in your bed type of shit. I had no idea about this friendship with Jack Parsons.
I didn't read any. I was skimming the list and I saw that and I stopped and I fixed it. This is the downfall of his life right here. This is a down. If you had to.
Here was the turning point.
Lafayette.
Oh God.
Ronnie. It's okay. If you were in love with Jack, it's okay. It would have been fine. It's okay. It's not hostile. It's only hostile if you're keeping it inside your heart.
Oh my God.
You didn't have to steal Sarah. You could have just sucked his dick.
Jesus.
That's
never mind the fact that Jack stole Sarah from fucking her sister, pretty much, while he was fucking her sister. Like, Tracker, you already went out. Fuck off.
He's just really excited.
He is. He wants in on it. He wants in on the madness.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn my lamp off because it's making me look even more unhinged. There we go.
Oh my God. Fine. I will let you out one more time. The fucking raccoon better not be out there. There's this little raccoon, and he likes to sit in a tree that overhangs the garage. And he likes to bark at
if you were a dog and there was a raccoon up in your shit, would you not get mad about it and have a little bark?
I guess.
Have a little bark?
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Whoa. Here I am just trying to put my camera in a slightly better spot. It's not. Okay. What am I doing? I don't know. Okay, that's better. That's not so bad. You can kind of see a little. I'm so not all there. My tote.
I avoided door dashing tonight. We were supposed to have snow like 3 hours ago. What the fuck?
It's snowing here.
Oh, so it's just on its way. All right, that's cool. But I feel
It's
bad for
coming.
her. She's got to get up at fucking 3 a.m. for work.
Which means she's gonna have to get up at 2 or earlier to make sure that the car is warm and be
Or
ready.
I unhealthily stay up past when I probably should to do that for her.
Don't do that.
But why?
That makes her love you and hate you.
Why hate me?
Because you're supposed to be resting.
Look, just because I had 5 hours of sleep last night doesn't mean I need any more.
Yeah, just because I've had my brain melted by LRH doesn't mean that I need an adequate human amount
I'm
of
about
fucking
to have
sleep.
my brain melted by LRH.
2 days in 1 week? That's not enough like recovery time in between. Could you imagine doing back to back to back to back auditing?
Ugh. I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather read LRH's work back.
What?
Your PC upstairs doesn't have native Bluetooth either. You're using an adapter. So we should be able to plug that into your computer, and the US or the Bluetooth will give it Bluetooth.
I will do this
Next time?
next.
Well, here, I'll plug it back
Okay.
into your computer.
Okay, thank you so much. That's
Is there
awesome.
suddenly an
You
easy
just saved
solution
me
to
a
your
headache.
problem?
Yeah.
Love when that happens.
Yeah. It's almost like if I had brought the Bluetooth adapter from my upstairs computer down here, I could use all of the devices that I am not able to use right now.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who would have thought?
Hey, now you know for next time. At least you got to the point where you know now.
Learning and loving with no brain cells.
So, anyway, hello, Holy Rogue. Good for you to be here. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Holy Rogue. Hope you're doing well.
I hope that former CS has been able to keep in touch with you. I'm not sure if they've reached out yet. I don't want to say their name, but when I found out who they were, I was kind of geeking out because I've been trying to get in touch with them for like 2 years.
Did I miss something interesting that I don't
so
have?
Holy Rogue wants to interview a former CS, a former case supervisor about some stuff. Because Holy Rogue used to work in the Boston church.
Yeah.
So he probably has some questions about like the auditing procedure. And all that shit. But the thing is, I follow this person's. I still kind of follow it now. I just look at it every now and then. I follow this person's blog. I've watched videos that they've done with other creators, and I've been trying to look, and I got a recommendation from somebody being like, "Hey, give me your number, and I will pass it to them." And I was like, you know what, whatever, fine. They passed it. Heard nothing. Emails, nothing. All of a sudden, I post a thing in a Facebook group for ex-members being like, yo, my friend's looking for a former CS. And I think I posted something in like the PTS Discord or whatever too. But I get a message from Patty Mower, the woman that I protested with in New Haven for the first time. And she says, hey, talk to this person on Discord. I'm sure they'll be willing to talk. So I start talking to them, and I'm just like, all right. And I'm just trying to get some basic questions, like how long were you in, and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, I was in for however many years in the SO, and talking to me about their shit. And actually, you know what? I'm going to just quickly find the conversation. Not going to. All right. So yeah, you
can censor it.
And I'm going to censor it. I'm going to give vague info. They said I was in from such and such a date to such and such a date in the church in general. I was in the Sea Org for so many years during that period. I said, what got you interested initially? And they sent me a link to a blog where I guess it was like frequently asked questions or something like that, just a way for me to get some info about them. and I look at the name in the blog fucking URL, and I'm like, no fucking way. This is the person I have been looking for the last 2 years.
What? How does that happen?
I guess they're on some of the anti-Scientology Discord groups, and I didn't even know. Because it's not like their Discord name mentions anything about who they are.
It's so funny how it's like there's an opportunity, and then it's like you'd think it would line up right, and then it doesn't quite line up right, and then with a little bit of time, it's like it just kind of lines up, and it's like,
oh, it was amazing. And I was like, and as I'm realizing who this person is, in my head, well, I type out, I'm like, hey, I saw you in this video or in this blog or whatever, blah, 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 blah. In my head, I'm like, oh God, my mass info document has so much shit about them.
well,
I'm like, oh God, I'm a loser.
Hey,
or sorry, I'm a dragon hoarder.
If people can make baseball cards on their own and shit like that, there's nothing wrong with compiling research.
True.
It's fine. It's fine.
And
validating.
This person was involved with
some stuff.
One event. They weren't responsible for the event, but they were kind of there for the aftermath of the event.
Okay.
It was not a good event. But they were there kind of to help do like tech cleanup and shit like that, and like auditing to fix it. But I have so many questions now. But yeah. So anyway, off topic.
No, that's all good. I don't even fucking care what topic we're on. I'm just happy to be here.
Well, I think there is one topic we were both, I would say, I'm looking forward to. You're probably fucking dreading.
I gotta say, like, a combination of reading that, first of all, it put me in a state of the flux. Okay, if you could be a living embodiment of the flux, that's how I felt on the inside.
Oh, Jesus.
But it was breaking my brain to the point where I was cutting Fluffer off. I felt so bad. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what dimension we were in. I didn't know what was port, what was starboard. I don't fucking know. And if 13 pages is that disorienting of one handbook, I just.
And we've got fucking like 20 more.
We have so many handbooks.
Oh, I'm just saying 20 pages in this handbook.
How do I make this all the screen? I suck. Whatever. I don't even care. I've got it on my thing here, so it doesn't matter.
Perfect. Oh, good. You can read along with me.
I can read along.
All right.
And vomit.
I am going to get the dog before I get too engrossed in this.
That's probably a good idea. Also, if anybody needs Tylenol or water or a strong cup of coffee, you might want to grab that. Okay. Oh, my wrist. I am so weak. Okay, there we go. I've got chat up as well, so now I can see chat and read.
All right. I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Ow.
Okay.
Just fucking bang my knee on the table.
I'm sorry for laughing. I'm not asking if you were okay.
Fine. I'm not worried about it. I Schadenfreude.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like so relatable that it's like the laugh is just empathy at this point.
Well, I appreciate the empathy. All right. I'm about to get started with this. I'm dreading it.
I've got my finger puppets here for if there's any more,
Stupidity.
any more dialogue, we'll call it. Dialogue, communication.
All right. The goal of such drilling. Now for context, the previous context was a dialogue about what a person.
The previous context was dumping a whole load, and now we're drilling. So
I forgot about that part. Yes, the apathetic crane operator will dump his load on men and let them die, and he is a murderer.
He's a potential murderer because he's so in apathy that he dumped his whole load. Okay.
But
sorry.
So yeah, the goal of such drilling is to get a student to the point where he can look at another person or an object and see exactly what is there. Not a deduction of what might be there from what he does see there. Just that what is there, visible and plain to the eye. It's so simple it hurts. Why do you make it so goddamn complicated then?
To make everyone else feel dumb. To make the person reading it think, yeah, it's so simple. Man, these people are so dumb to not understand it. I'm learning so much great tech right now. Man, I love reading a book exactly by the cover.
And then
that's my favorite thing.
A thing that this is kind of reminding me of is Holy Rogue will understand what I'm referring to. As-ising. When you view an object exactly as it is, without any distortions, biases, or differences of viewing, you supposedly can as-is the object and therefore make it vanish.
So this was the first literature that I had come across the written word isness, the isness. And I don't, yeah.
Yeah, no, the is are, what is it? As is, alter is, non is.
Oh, also when you obnose something.
Oh, yes, obnosing.
Yeah, that's observing the obvious. Obnosing. Obnosis.
Oh my god. You can get a good tip on chronic tone from what a person does with his eyes. At apathy, he will give the appearance of looking fixedly for minutes on end at a particular object. The only thing is, he doesn't see it. He isn't aware of the... I do this all the time and I'm just dissociating.
Yeah.
This isn't apathy.
Yeah. It's called my brain tired.
Yeah, like give me a... Like, it's called TR0.
You know that thing that you spent thousands to learn? I'm going to teach you now how to unlearn it so that you can know it and also not know it so that you can apply it and then also scold people for not applying it, but then also get mad at people applying it wrong. And then also say, why aren't you applying it enough?
And then hammer out any possibility of incorrect application.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing is he doesn't see it. He isn't aware of the object at all. If you dropped a bag over his head, the focus of his eyes would probably remain the same. No, it'd probably be, oh my god, something in my environment changed. Wait, there's a bag over my head. Where's the fucking van that they want to throw me in?
It is suddenly dark. I do not feel safe.
Seriously, like he doesn't account for just
anything?
Subconscious reaction. Well, yes. In this case, changes to the person's viewable environment. Like, has he never heard of someone just going boo, and all of a sudden you just getting startled and snapping back into it? Like,
well, what? To be fair, I'm pretty sure his parents didn't play with him as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, sorry about the neglect, Ronnie.
Oh, no, he just explored Guam and China. And then
making a legacy.
Fucking trash basket in school. Moving up to grief.
Our noble Commodore.
Oh yeah, noble source, noble truth. Moving up to grief, the person does look downcast. A person in chronic grief tends to focus his eyes down in the direction of the floor a good bit. In the lower ranges of grief, his attention will be fairly fixed, as in apathy. As he starts moving up into the fear band, you get the focus shifting around, but still directed downward.
I'm in fear.
My brain's trying to figure out like how to process this, but it's not. Oh my god! Holy Rogue just said would make a cheese superhero, the as-iser.
Flies into the window. I can see this as is, and then he leaves.
Just vaporizes. Not X-ray vision. He just looks at you and you die.
That's right. I can see your isness.
I don't know if I want them seeing my isness. That feels personal.
That's private, actually. It's private.
God. At fear itself, the very obvious characteristic is that the person can't look at you. But what if they don't fear you?
People are too dangerous to look at.
What if you're scared of snakes? Like the snakes that live in the bottom of your bed.
You're gonna have to talk to a tomato about it, because I just don't know.
Oh, god damn it, I gotta audit the fucking fruit and vegetables. Son of a bitch. I've got a cabbage in my fridge. I'll talk to it later.
Is that as upset as aubergine, or?
Oh god, the aubergine. I gotta start tone 40ing my fucking produce. He's supposedly talking to you, but he's looking over in left field. Then he glances at your feet briefly, then over your head. You get the impression that a plane is passing over. Specifically, you get that impression. But now he's looking back over his shoulder. Flick, flick, flick. In short, he'll look anywhere but at you.
So, to be clear, if the feeling is not specifically of a plane passing overhead, it can't be fear. It's got to be one of the other things.
It's got to be...
Because if it's not...
whatever's after fear.
Yeah, it's got to be anger or grief, obviously. I mean, if it's not exactly the impression of a plane passing over...
Hello,
Ro must be in grief.
Good to see you. All right. Then in the lower band of anger, he will look away from you deliberately. He looks away from you. It's an overt communication break. A little further up the line and he'll look directly at you, all right, but not very pleasantly. He wants to locate you as a target. You are just now enemy number one. Oh wait.
So...
one?
It went from like 0 to hostile so quickly.
It goes from, I don't feel like doing anything today to, I'm gonna fucking murder you.
I'm gonna hunt you down. My goodness.
I would ask Ron who hurt you, but...
I think we all know.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, I'm gonna assume there's more. I just don't want to know.
Jack Parsons broke his heart. He was left with the niacin chart.
I was waiting for the rest of that song.
That's all I had on the fly.
Rika, write it. Then at boredom, you get the eyes wandering around again, but not frantically as in fear. Also, he won't be avoiding looking at you. He'll include you among the things he looks at. Oh, thank God, so I'm equivalent to everything else in the room. What the fuck was that? Sorry. Thought I heard something.
It was the isness.
Yeah, someone just got as-is outside. This just sounded like someone fucking like died. Like, did you?
Oh no!
Like, it was a quick, like, high-pitched screech. It was like,
I heard it. It sounded like metal moving
you heard
or something.
that too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I thought it was like a little piece of metal, like dragging across the floor or something. Is what it sounded like.
It sounded like it was outside, but I mean, if that happened in my house, I'd probably be shitting my pants right now. Equipped with data of this sort and having gained some proficiency in the obnosis of people, a person can next go out into the public to talk to strangers and spot them on the tone scale. Usually, but only as a slight crutch in approaching people, a person doing this should have a series of questions to ask each person and a clipboard for jotting down the answers, notes, etc. The real purpose of their talking to people at all is to spot them on the tone scale. Oh, we got images now of eyes and tones.
Oh yeah, we got the demo. This is the guy I was saying. This is the dude who I was saying they probably brought him in, saying, "Hey, you want to be a model? We could do like some photo shoots for our brochure here, and you could put it on your, and they probably got him in that way."
Right. Just a starving actor in Hollywood.
Yeah. Just some guy.
Just going back to the previous paragraph. If a person starts approaching you with a clipboard, what is the first thing you do out of instinct?
Turn and walk away because they're going to ask me for information or money.
Exactly. And what are these people doing?
Asking you for information or money?
Yeah. My brain wasn't even actually contemplating the second part, but it makes sense. Yep. So we got boredom, anger, fear, grief, and apathy. Apathy is just grief minus 2.
The main core emotions.
What a person does with his eyes can help you spot his position on the tone scale.
Not looking into someone's eyes can help you try to determine how they might be feeling and help you better approach them so that they can meet you on the same level and what you have to say might be better received. No. You gotta clock that fucker.
You get that number, you look at the Hubbard chart of human evaluation, and you find out how they are with other people.
And you know exactly as they are, because it's hypnosis, baby.
The real purpose of their talking to people at all is to spot them on the tone scale, chronic tone, and social tone. They are given questions calculated to produce lags and break through social training and education so that the chronic tone juts out. Here are some sample questions used for the drill. What's the most obvious thing about me? When was the last time you had your hair cut? Do you think people do as much work now as they did 50 years ago? Fuck. What?
Those are just the sample questions. What are the other what?
I hope this is somewhere in the red volumes that I can find this.
Please. I would act out these with you. These are horrifying. People need to know this shit.
What is the last time you had your hair cut have to do with lags and breaking
vanity,
social training and education so that the chronic tone juts out?
Vanity, ego, how hard you place appearance, that can all be attributed to your motivation in life.
But what if someone asks you this question, but you're displaying a tone of like, they ask you the question, you answer the question, but in a way of like, why the fuck are you asking me this? Like when was the last time you had your haircut? Probably about like 3 weeks ago.
The last time it needed one?
Exactly. Like, what happens when you just get a snarky douche?
Also, are you able to afford regular haircuts? Or do you cut your own hair? Because if you cut your own hair, probably not lucrative. Probably not a lot to exploit there.
Not a good prospect. Not good raw meat.
Exactly. That meat's not so fresh.
At first, the persons doing this merely spot the tone of the person they're interviewing, and many and various are the adventures they have while doing this. This isn't a fucking, like, comic book. Later, as they gain some assurance about stopping strangers and asking them questions, these instructions are added. Interview at least 15 people. With the first 5, match their tone as soon as you've spotted it. The next 5, you drop below their chronic tone and see what happens. For the last 5, put on a higher tone than theirs. What if you start matching someone's energy, they're going to get freaked out, probably at least a little bit.
I want them to fucking try and come and match my energy.
They got to figure out your tone first. It's not going to be fucking easy.
I want to see them try. That'd be a real experience.
Where
Real
do you
adventure.
feel your tone is? Whether on the tone scale or just a completely separate word.
My tone is probably don't fucking talk to that person. They're beyond saving or helping. Don't even get involved. That person's weird and fucked up and weird. Like, half my shirt is covered in blue paint and it says International Dramatic Clown Club Platinum Member.
Where did you get this shirt?
From a website called Arcane Bullshit.
Okay, please excuse me.
They're a Canadian place. They make great stuff. I also have a shirt from them that says Haunted and Thriving.
Follow me to a cursed bog where moss will consume your bones.
Like On My Way to Cried an Abandoned Lighthouse bumper sticker, stuff like that, right? It's great.
I worshipped the void today, and that's why your barn has been engulfed in darkness.
Reduce, reuse, reanimate. Necromancy's great for the environment.
On my way to lick all the crystals at the crystal store. I worship the sun today, and that's why our corn hasn't floated into space. Oh my god, I actually love these.
I know.
Wait, why is that a thing? What the fuck?
I have one of their stickers here.
What
It says 100% committed to the bit.
Oh my god. I'm looking at the one that's the Arcane Bullshit Oracle deck. The first card they show is Werewolf and Pig making out.
I know, I really want their Oracle deck. I think that'd be really fun to do readings with. I think it'd be fun. They also have a book that says, Welcome to My Tiny Town, and it's like all these things about this tiny town. It's really funny. We're off track, but it's a good track to be on because it's much better than
I found a book that's called Stop Looking at My Tiny Town.
Yeah, that's the book.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Yes, Oreo Ritz, this is reading from the Emotional Tone Scale booklet. Holy Rogue says, what if I humbly don't want to look into someone's eyes due to any uncomfortableness or just don't want to? Well, then you need to get your confront up. You need to get your
Holy
TRs
Rogue,
in.
I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a drill further on where they're asking you to look into the third eye, and I'm scared. I'm scared that that's going to be there. I don't want to look into anyone's third eye. I don't want to look into their brown eye, and I don't want to look in their face eyes.
Of course. It's not a Tilty stream without immediately going to butts.
But I'm just trying to class up your channel, okay? I don't...
It's working. Trust me, it's working.
All right. I almost fell off my stool just now, so, I'm just... This bird's on a perch!
System of a Down with the isness. Oh no, it's Disturbed.
I love that.
System of a Down.
Oh, yeah.
What if someone looks mad but is sad, or if someone looks sad but is actually mad? I know, right? Like, what if someone's sad, they look mad, and then someone else just starts matching their mad tone?
What if someone has autism?
Getting even more depressed, being like, why the fuck are you mad at me?
What if somebody can't hide their facial expression at all and are basically a living Muppet? What are you supposed to do? Have they tried auditing Muppets before? Have they tried doing TRs on a living Muppet? Because I'd like to see how it goes.
I feel so bad for anybody. Oh god, I just saw the phrase only old ladies, and I cannot wait to read this.
That is one sentence.
I know, and it was 3 lines into this paragraph. What can a person gain from these exercises? A willingness to communicate with anyone, for one. Well, that's grade 0. To begin with, a person can be highly selective about the sort of people he stops. Only old ladies. No one who looks angry, or only people who look clean. Finally, they just stop the next person who comes along, even though he looks leprous and armed to the teeth. Their ability to confront people has come way up, and a person is just somebody else to talk to. They become willing to pinpoint a person on the scale without wavering or hesitating.
It's almost like treating other human beings with decent basic courtesy and respect, like respecting other humans, like as humans. Damn, I'm so glad that people are paying money to learn how to do this the wrong way. This is awesome.
I wasn't expecting
Wow.
to treat people with respect as a fucking drill. They also
I just
go ahead.
I need 420.
What do we got? CO Bilf, hello. All of these questions are answered on the upper Captain Bill levels. Many Muppets have had wins on the bridge, even the Marcabian Gonzo. Holy Rogue says, TT, you're right about autism. They consider them DBs.
I told you I'm a DB Crim. I told you.
I still have yet to check out most of the Captain Bill shit. They also become quite gifted and flexible at assuming tones at will. So basically, that just means that you're not a person anymore. You just know how to display what needs to be displayed when it needs to be displayed. You become a fucking robot. And
it is a skill well worth the time and effort to acquire.
And money.
It's so worth it, folks.
Convincingly, which is very useful in many situations and lots of fun to do. No, sometimes I like actually having my own emotions, unless he's trying to refer to like actors. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to interpret. Oh God, the next page after this is the Hubbard chart. Oh fuck. Sorry.
I think it really comes down to he thinks that anything that puts you in some sort of superiority level to any other person is fun. And so in itself, assuming tones and being able to just use the scale freely with your great control and ability, that in itself is fun.
I mean, for fuck's sake, he considers studying when you know how to do it according to the student hat fun. You're literally trained to just sit in a course room.
Study tech breaks my brain. Breaks my brain. Couldn't do it. I'd start a fire. I'm just saying.
Well, then that's called look what you did to me, and that's I believe I want to say that's lack of mass. No, that might be misunderstood. Because one of the things is destruction to the environment.
Oh well, shucks.
So sorry, you fall into their criteria. Being able to recognize the tone level of people at a single glance is an ability which can give a tremendous advantage in one's dealings with others. It is a skill well worth the time and effort to acquire. No.
It's all about having the advantage. It's all about being in the position of power. It's all about being superior, having an ability to manipulate, control, guide things how you want it.
I think you say it's about being superior to them. They think they're being superior. We got to make that clear. They think they're doing better than everybody else.
In their perception.
In their perception. In reality, they just look like a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Thank you for the correction there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The Hubbard chart.
Bunch of ding-dongs.
The whole
subject, the Hubbard chart of being a ding-dong.
And the Hubbard chart of how to pick a number out of the crack of my ass and just throw shit in with it and just assume that's how everybody is.
The maths don't even make sense.
The numbers ain't numbering.
It's not. And I'm not even good at math. And I can tell that it's wrong. Sorry.
No,
Continue.
it's okay. Math was like my best subject in school, so this is getting to me even worse.
So you can confirm.
Yeah, you can't. You can put numbers.
I showed my partner, and I'm pretty sure if I tried to explain to him the numbers, he would probably just look at me and then turn around and pretend I didn't even fucking say anything, because he'd
just act like you were someone coming at him with a clipboard.
Exactly. Excuse me, sir.
When did you last get your hair cut?
He's native, so his hair is like down to past his butt crack too, so it's just really funny. About 3 years ago.
Well, would you like to sit in front of the meter and date that precisely?
Fuck.
And when was an earlier similar time you got your hair cut? Oh God, if those questions started going into auditing actions. And then the thing is, it's like the question like about people working 50 years ago. And it's like, well, find a past life from 50 years ago.
I was just gonna say we're gonna have to do a whole life track.
Oh Jesus. This just gets worse. The whole search to accurately judge our fellows is something that man has wanted to be able to do for a long time. And they still want to be able to do, because you sure as fuck didn't achieve it. In Scientology, we have a chart which shows a way one can precisely evaluate human behavior and predict what a person will do. This is the Hubbard chart of human evaluation, a copy of which is at the back of this booklet. The chart displays the degree of ethics, responsibility, persistence on a given course, handling of truth, and other identifying aspects of a person along the various levels of the tone scale. You can examine the chart and you will find in the boxes as you go across it the various characteristics of people at these levels. Horribly enough, these characteristics have been found to be constant. If you have a 3.0 as your rating, then you will carry across the whole chart at 3.0. Not any deviation.
You gotta stay on the rails.
So then if a person feels like they're in 3.0, but they display some 2.5 or 2.0 behavior, how do they justify that? How does a Scientologist justify that to themselves? Do they then have to fake being in 3.0 and acting in a 3.0 way?
That, or they have to evaluate how they're misinterpreting the feeling that they have as to why they think they're feeling a 2 point whatever instead of a 3.0, when they should be in fact feeling it as a 3.0.
There's probably a misunderstood in there somewhere. They need their dictionaries.
That's exactly it.
Could you imagine just being like, I feel happy today, but this part of my life doesn't feel too good. Let me get my dictionary. Like, what the And you're just imagine just like doing that just at a party.
That's why you don't go to parties.
The only
Simple
parties
enough.
you go to have Scientologists in them.
Exactly.
If you can locate 2 or 3 characteristics along a certain level of the scale, you can look in the number column opposite those characteristics and find the level. It may be 2.5, it may be 1.5. Wherever it is, simply look at all the columns opposite the number you found, and you will see the remaining characteristics. The only mistake you can make in evaluating somebody else on this tone scale is to use this fucking tone scale. That is the mistake you can make in evaluating somebody on this, is to fucking use this as a tool to evaluate.
To take it seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the real mistake is to assume that he departs from it somewhere and is higher in one department than he is in another. Like a normal person. The characteristic may be masked to which you object, but it is there. God, this just gets more and more irritating. And I am like 2, maybe 3 pages in. You guys, you two dealt with 13 fucking pages. Oh, I'm so sorry.
At least we didn't pay for it.
True. Yeah, you got all this for free. So And you know what? If it's free, it's for me. And that's the only time I will read this shit, is if it's freely given to me to look at. Actually, no, I can't say that because I will buy shit on eBay.
Well, that's used. I mean, it's not like you know, your money is going to help that person recoup their own losses.
True. Or just get deeper in the sunken cost fallacy.
Mm.
Look at the top of the first column and you get a general picture of the behavior and physiology of the person. Look at the second column for the physical condition. Look at the third for the most generally expressed emotion of the person. Continue on across the various columns. Somewhere you will find data about somebody or yourself of which you can be sure. Then simply examine all the other boxes at the level of the data you are certain about. That band, be it 1.5 or 3.0, will tell you the story of a human being. You have said that same thing in how many fucking paragraphs now?
That was 2 pages of one sentence.
Literally, just find an emotion or find something that relates to you and just go directly horizontal across that band.
1 sentence. That's all you need. Not 2 pages. Slow down with the math. My goodness.
Of course, as good news and bad, happy days and sad ones strike a person, there are momentary raises and lowerings on this tone scale. At least he accounts for some flexibility.
But they're temporary, not chronic.
But as mentioned, there is a chronic level, an average behavior for each individual. As an individual is found lower and lower on this chart, so is his alertness, his consciousness lower and lower. The individual's chronic mood or attitude toward existence declines in direct ratio to the way he regards the physical universe and organisms about him. And where's your math on that, Ron? CO Bill said hashtag at cause. Holy Rogue said use be going past life on haircuts. And CO Bill said ain't no party like a bosun's party.
So this is the individual's chronic mood or attitude towards existence declines in direct ratio in the way he regards blah 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 blah. Right? He goes, if he feels lower, he's treats everything lower, everything's lower, right? And this is a really good time to point out that like death is higher tone than accountability.
Wait, accountability is a Thetan level thing, not a person level thing? Because I know anything below death is Thetan related.
So body death is 0.0.
Mm-hmm.
And below that is failure, pity, shame, accountable, blame.
Would that be good? If you're accountable for your actions.
That was my fucking question.
Oh,
that was my fucking question. It is worse to be accountable than it is to be failure, body death, dying, useless. Accountability is worse than terror. It's worse than despair. It's worse than covert hostility. It's worse than resentment. It's worse than hate. Accountability is worse than hostility. It's worse than antagonism. It's worse than pain.
Because, I mean, according to them, you don't admit when you're wrong. You just fucking attack.
Yeah. So I think that really shows a piece of this that, like, in that one book we were reading, Falling from a Pink Cloud, he saw this tone scale every day from the age of 9 to when he left. You see this, and it just ingrains part of that in you. You're going to be scared of accountability. You're going to have to work on that. And if that's a puzzle piece that you're missing, that you've been taught that accountability is so fucking horrible. It's worse than death and failure. How are you supposed to approach that with anything but fear? It's just so needlessly warped.
That is messed up.
And it's those tiny little things of how it's organized and strategized and indoctrinated that creates such a malicious base pattern that it's like, despite the things that individual people do, at the core of how it is set up, it is meant to be fucked and to fuck people up.
But now my brain's just going into contradictions. If being accountable is so bad, how are you supposed to have communication with anybody?
I think you need to word clear communication.
I ain't word clear in the fucking triangle. Either of them. Hello, Power Lies to Paralyze. Said, oh, the tone scale, cybernetic parameters for the soul. Holy Rogue said, Holly, Tilty, I gotta go, but hope to catch you both when I get home and maybe pop into the chat. Peace and love. Peace and love to you too.
Hope you're doing well, Holy Rogue.
Power Live says, geez, Tilty, when you put it that way, Hubbard's narcissistic pseudoscience seems like it's not legitimate or something. What's up with that?
Are you trying to tell me that this isn't valid? Whoa! Hold the front door. Hold the front door. Did Hubbard lie to me? Did Scientology lie to me? No, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be right. My God, I think they did.
35 pages of lying. Like, well, now I'm just actually imagining like the slow break a person goes through when they finally realize that they've been lied to. I feel so bad.
Just want to give them all a hug.
No. Compassion.
Pat them on the back and say it's all right. It's all right.
I'm not going to force you to answer questions about it.
I'm not even going to ask you questions about it. And, I just want everyone to remember that LRH had only friendship for Jack Parsons. That's all.
I think the biggest thing these people need to be told, especially with Scientology culture, not everything bad that happens is your fault. Most
bad things happen to good people.
Not your fault.
Bad things happen because bad things happen, and unfortunately there are systems in place that make it easier for that to happen.
Yep. It is not a complete statement to say merely that one becomes fixed in his regard for the physical universe and organisms about him, for there are definite ways beyond consciousness which permit this to take place. Manifestation, however, is a decline of consciousness with regard to the physical environment of an individual. Wait. What? Manifestation? Like law of attraction shit? What
or does he or do you mean like what context?
Seriously, you just brought this shit in out of nowhere and just
he manifested it out of his asshole.
Or is he talking about like actually manifesting like wait, hold on. I gotta read this again.
Fixed in his read this again.
Manifestation, however, is a decline of consciousness with regard to the physical environment of an individual. So is it basically the individual just
daydreaming?
Okay, all right, that makes sense now.
I think it's daydreaming. I think he's saying you don't have time for fucking daydreaming, fucking imagination, manifestation. Fuck that shit.
But as an all-powerful Thetan, aren't you supposed to be able to manifest things?
We're clearing the planet, man. You don't have time for manifesting your own shit.
You went up the bridge, but fuck your life. That decline of consciousness is a partial cause of a gradual sag down this chart, but it is illustrative enough for our purposes in this volume. No, it's not.
It's literally, he doesn't want you thinking on your own. He does not want you thinking on your own or trying to manifest any thoughts or conception or like anything other than what you are told and what you see.
You just need to understand and duplicate.
Yeah.
The position of an individual on this tone scale varies through the day and throughout the years, but is fairly stable for given periods. One's
I thought it
position
was
on the chart-
chronic.
I think that's the fairly
Fairly stable or
is fairly
chronic or
stable
what?
supposed to refer to the chronic tone, and that's the
So can your
stable one? Is it stable around that chronic tone?
okay, well, how stable does it have to? How long do you have to be in a stable tone for it to be considered a chronic tone?
He'll never mention that.
Of course not.
One's position on the chart will rise on receipt of good news, sink with bad news. This is the usual give and take with life. Everyone, however, has a chronic position on the chart, which is unalterable, save for Scientology processing.
1-1. Irredeemable.
Goddamn right. Scientology processing. Oh, God. Now you're going to word clear Scientology processing? Scientology processing.
Now listen, it's not just processing.
Is a very unique form of personal counseling which helps an individual look at his own existence and improves his ability to confront what he is and where he is. Processing thus raises the chronic tone of that individual. This is so dumb.
So you can't have counseling, but you can have processing. And okay.
In this definition, counts regular therapeutic counseling and Scientology processing just based on this sentence are the same fucking thing.
But with a warped, like, it's like there's a used condom over it. Like it's just there's something gross. Like, you know what I mean? Like like, yeah, it makes sense, but why? You know, like why'd you have to make it so gross? Like, you know, like I just reading this feels like stepping in water with a sock.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Swamp ass on a humid day.
Otherwise known as SWAS.
SWAS. Hello, Judy Lee. Thank you for joining today. And Powerlize says his hypnotic cadence has you two smitten as kittens, trying to logically resolve his BS. Do I have to pay for this entertainment, or is it free? It's always free for you.
It's always free.
On the other hand, on an acute basis, necessity level, lifting oneself by one's bootstraps as in emergencies, can raise an individual well up this chart for brief periods. Okay, isn't lifting yourself up by your bootstraps, didn't it start as a phrase that literally means something that's impossible to do?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Because I hear
you're
that
literally
all the time.
unable to lift yourself up from your bootstraps. It's meant to be get through this impossible situation.
Go lay in your bed. Go lay down. You bugged me enough. Oy vey. One's environment also greatly influences one's position on the chart. Well, and here's another thing with the lifting oneself up by one's bootstraps thing. It's the same when it comes to the phrase of the customer is always right. Because people don't know, a lot of people don't know the second half of that phrase. I'm assuming you do already.
Yes. Yeah. But it also reminds me of blood is thicker than water, because that is also part of the quote. The blood of the covenant is thicker than, or the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which means your chosen bonds are actually stronger than the ones that you didn't have any. Exactly.
Holy shit. So it's literally the exact opposite.
Exactly.
Oh, that is awesome. Makes it sound more badass too.
It does. That's like when people say, "Oh, I'm not having kids." Oh, I don't say that. I say I am the ender of my bloodline.
That's what I say. I say my bloodline ends with me.
Yes, yeah, perfect.
One's environment also greatly influences one's position on the chart. Every environment has its own tone level. A man who's really a 3.0 can begin to act like a 1.1 in a 1.1 environment. However, a 1.1 usually acts no better than about 1.5 in an environment with a high tone. If one lives in a
So
low tone,
LRH wants everyone to know that he wasn't actually in love with Jack Parsons, okay? He had just only friendship for him. He was only feeling kind of 1-1 because of the environment, okay? It wasn't actually that he's 1-1, okay? He has only friendship for Jack Parsons, as he reminded himself every single day. It was the environment. It was the tone of the environment that made him want to watch him masturbate for 12 days in a row.
while trying to make the Antichrist.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? It's about the environment. Tone grade your environment. Don't accidentally get turned gay.
Don't get accidentally turned gay.
Listen, if you don't tone eval every room you walk in, before you walk in there, you might accidentally end up a 1-1 and you won't know it. It's that easy, apparently.
However, a
He
1-1
even
usually...
uses
Yeah?
it's in the book. He even uses 1-1 in the book. We know what that means, Ronnie.
So does that just mean my house is a 1-1 environment?
I think so.
I mean, it feels 3.0.
But if we live on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we live on Earth. What is it called? TGAC?
TGAC, yep.
Yeah. So if I'm feeling 1-1, and like I know a lot of people who feel 1-1, does that make TGAC 1-1?
Yes, TGAC was literally a prison planet. TGAC is full of criminals.
So we're literally just a bunch of gay eggs covered in electric ribbons, gay ghost eggs, frozen
Gay
little
alien Kinder eggs.
gay alien Kinder eggs wrapped in electric ribbon.
Tossed into volcanoes.
Pompeii. The fuck?
All of our eggs cracked at one point.
It's like, is that why they wanted to start in Australia? Because they found like a similarity? Because that's where they shipped all of the British.
Well, now my brain's just like, it's Australia's not 1-1 because of the people. It's 1-1 because of the animals. They be trying to fucking kill you every day.
Everything. Like, I'm scared of the flora and the fauna.
I'd go to Australia as long as I had someone to drive me to the hospital. Power Lies is watching with a box of popcorn and says, "Well, I said Tilty, watching friends master. Well said, Tilty. Watching friends masturbate is higher toned if Hubbard does it for Satan." I feel like that's gotta be a picture now. Hashtag masturbate for Satan.
Listen,
if
if you're not masturbating for Satan, okay,
hashtag,
are you giving it your tone 40?
Hashtag MASTURBATAN. Masturbating.
Right? Gotta loosen up those electric ribbons, okay?
Judy says, not too sure what it is that I walked into, but it's highly entertaining. The things you learn
Cosmic
about
misdemeanors.
no. Oh God, the misdemeanors.
Cosmic misdemeanors. Okay?
Toilet
That's why we're
crime.
here. Intergalactic toilet crimes. Okay?
If one lives, oh yeah, we were doing this.
Yeah, we're actually reading things.
However, a 1-1 usually acts no better than about a 1.5 in an environment with a high tone. If one lives in a low-toned environment, he can expect eventually to be low-toned. This is also true of marriage. One tends to match the tone level of one's marital partner. This tone scale is also valid for groups. A business or a nation can be examined as to its various standard reactions, and these can be plotted. This will give you the survival potential of a business or a nation. No.
Yeah. I'm good, thanks.
Never mind, all the intricacies of running a nation or a business. No, just standard reactions, which Hubbard probably has somehow brought down to like
It's
3
about survival. It's about survival. It's about ethics, which aren't actually ethics. And it's about masturbating for Satan. Okay? We're talking Scientology here. Playing for keeps. Okay?
Oh God, stats on your sexual habits. Keeping weekly stats on your sexual habits.
I mean,
Thursdays at 2.
I was just gonna say, you gotta tell him something on Thursday. Well, I didn't sell that many books, but I was masturbating for Satan.
Oh Christ. This chart can also be used in employing people or in choosing partners. It is an accurate index of what to expect and gives you a chance to predict what people will do before you have any great experience with them. You know, judging a book by its cover.
Especially if you can, like, ask someone who you know to read their ethics folder first, and then you can, like, have that knowledge, and then you meet them, and then you use your tone scale test.
Yeah, then you pretend your tone scale works.
Exactly.
It's like those fucking like televangelist people who go up to the crowd and is like, "Oh, the Lord is telling me your name is Donna and you are suffering from arthritis." Meanwhile, she wrote down her condition on like a card before she came in and someone's just reading it to him through an earpiece. Also, it gives you some clue as to what can happen to you in certain environments or around certain people, for they can drag you down or boost you high. However, don't use this chart as an effort to make somebody knuckle under. Don't tell people where they are on it. It may ruin them. Let them take their own examinations. Just like you're not supposed to tell them about the clam hands. Because you might hurt their teeth.
Listen. Okay? I can't tell you that you're gay. It may ruin you. But I can tell you that LRH had only friendship for Jack.
Okay. I'm very seriously contemplating buying that piece. I just want to hang it up on my wall. I just want like a little like a cork board that I can just like thumbtack stuff onto.
I have that.
This is a piece that is deeply appealing to me. Hold on, let me zoom in on you.
We've got our Justice for the Fish, Stop at Tom Cruise up there.
Solo layout. There we go.
You know? We got Kids Can't Consent balloons. We got Planet Consent. I don't know how directions work. There's some Lara art. I'm just kind of starting to get things set up. That's a Styx poster. That's a peacock drawn by Brad, Drop Short Media.
Nice.
It's incredible. And the Enterprise, obviously. And my guitar.
How good are you at playing, by the way? How long have you been playing?
Me playing instruments is me making sounds. So
Hey, sometimes it
I
might sound
can't.
good.
Sometimes it doesn't hurt. I'm just starting to get to the place where I can actually pick it up and start fiddling with it. I used to play when I was in grade school, and then I developed, and I was like, I don't want to play guitar. I don't want anything touching me. So now I'm finally like, yay! So
well, that's good. You're getting comfortable with it again.
Yeah.
Hello, Sieglin. Good to see you. He says my needle is floating. Wizard Owlin Celestial. Hello. Good to have you here. My ethics officer told me my tone, trying to get me to join staff, told me I was 3.5 conservatism. The funny thing, Wizard Owlin Celestial is actually one of my former interviewees. I think I got rid of they wanted me to take down the interview because of their they had some issue with their like landlady or whatever, and she was like just a big drama queen or some shit.
I don't like this. I don't want that. I own property that I don't live in. Sorry.
Yeah, she's doing landlady things.
Tell us how you really feel.
But all right, what do we got? Tone scale test. Probably the most accurate index of a person's position on the tone scale is speech. Unless a person talks openly and listens receptively, he cannot be considered very high on the tone scale. In column 10 of the chart, speech talks versus speech listens, there are double boxes, one set referring to talking, the other to listening. It may not have occurred to some people that communication is both outflow and inflow. An observation of how a person both listens and talks will give an accurate indication of his position on the tone scale.
I think it's really important to point out that he really wants people to know that it may not have occurred to some people that things can be inflow and outflow.
My brain's taking that in a separate direction. Yes, exactly that direction.
I mean, I just
is this?
I don't even need to say anything.
Line to a joke to jokes now. Just hold it up.
I'm just gonna have little memes like.
Don't act like this, baby. Oh Christ! Trigger warning.
Just making a couple of those, just to have around. You'll always be a piece of shit to me.
Aww, that's so sweet.
I mean that.
You touch my heart.
I may be autistic, but at least I'm not an asshole.
That's a good one. Says Judy Lee says, what does it mean if you can tell dirty jokes well with good communication? It means you've gotten through your grade 0 and you can talk to anyone comfortably on any subject. You went through 0A and 0B, one of the worst processes to send a kid through. Wizard Owlin, the thing about the tone scale is you can go up and down throughout your life, but most people have chronic tones. Yeah, he repeated that about 17 times.
He spent 2 pages saying that in 60 different sentences. It was like 9 paragraphs of one.
Isn't temporal lobe
tilty.
epilepsy amazing?
Gee willikers.
It is interesting to note that with this column, one can conduct what we call a 2-minute psychometry on someone. Psychometry is the measurement of mental traits, abilities, and processes. Give me a second. I do want to look up psychometry. Just to make sure. Okay, first off, this says psychometry is... It says in parapsychology, psychometry, known as token object reading or psychoscopy, is a form of extrasensory perception categorized by the claimed ability to glean accurate knowledge of an object's history by making physical contact with the object.
I said what?
I mean, that's kind of...
It sounded like a colonoscopy for your brain.
That's what I thought, psychoscopy.
Psychoscopy. That's a thing? That's what reading this is. This is a psychoscopy right here.
He's literally giving the true definition. He's not giving the true definition of psychometry when it comes to like supernatural spooky stuff, but that's exactly what he's doing by using this tone scale.
Wow. How to use 10,000 words to make someone think you're doing something that you're not doing or not doing something that you are doing. What?
Oh, wait, here's something. Let me see if... Psychometrics, the science of measuring mental capacities and processes. Generally covering...
Talking to someone?
Within, hold on, field of study within psychology concerned with the theory and technique. Okay, so this is what Hubbard was talking about, but the other one is more accurate. Psychometrics.
He accidentally self-snitched.
Right word. Yeah, he self-snitched. Psychometrics generally covers specialized fields within psychology and education devoted to testing, measurement, assessment, and related activities. Okay, so the definition is right. He just has the wrong definition.
Of course he does. Because he got them two mixed up, because he's talking about so many fucking things, he can't even keep his own head straight.
And that's one of the forms of MUs. Judy Lee says, my brain just exploded.
Thank you. Mine too.
At least your suffering with this nonsense will be over.
And again,
yeah,
it's free.
Mm-hmm. It's free, and we're warning you ahead of time that it's nonsense.
And we're trying to approach it with a little levity to make it a little easier to stomach. Because if I had to take this seriously, I'd have run out down the road into the forest by now. Because this is if I had to, like, if this was like something I had to do, I would break. I don't know.
That's what Carmen says to me all the time. She's like, yo, if you ever got me in a Scientology course room, she's like, I'd be back talking the supervisor the whole fucking time.
I'd literally end up having like a meltdown and be escorted out. Like they'd call security. Like I don't. It bums me out, man. It really bums me out.
Wizard Allen says, Hubbard spent a whole book on just the tone scale. I took the Science of Survival course when I was in. It took me forever to get through.
You survived the survival.
Wizard says, Tilty, are you a former member? Are you a former Scientologist?
No, I'm not a former Scientologist. I was not raised with any religion, but I was... I did have a rough upbringing and had some religious trauma that led me to learning about it. And I just I just like exposing things that I don't think are right and trying to make people feel a little bit better. And learning about it is one of the best ways to do that. So Holly, the knowledge dragon,
who doesn't look at any of her shit. Other people do that for me now.
Well, you give it to me, and then I tell you what jumps out at me, and then you're like, all right, I gotta check this out.
Yeah, pretty much. Because then it's actually, because my brain is just like, oh, emotional, like originally my brain is just like, oh, emotional tone scale, numbers to emotions and behaviors. That's all I need to know about it. Now when you're diving into it and I see all the ridiculous tiny little fucking pieces, it makes it 10 times more interesting than just the overall general concept that I had in mind.
Exactly, because it's a base layer of how everything is seen through these warped, like, the foundation of the fuckery needs to be understood.
Wizard just said, I've been in the course room many times. I really need to wear my glasses. I thought, hold on. They accidentally had wrote TiltyBird, not TiltyBird.
No, actually, like, pretty much everyone thinks that it says TiltyBird. I've gotten pretty much everybody in the community to say TiltyBird out loud, which has been a joy for me, seeing as I had mine surgically removed.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that, actually. But
Yeah,
not something I'm going to go
actually,
around asking.
the end of the month actually will be my 1 year anniversary of that, and it's awesome.
Was that
Also, like, I hate everything that, like, it's industrialized, organized, widespread exploitation, manipulation, and abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gross. And it's gross. And also, it gives nerds a bad name. Okay? It gives math a bad name. It gives the ocean a bad name. You're tainting all the shit, man. You're tainting all the good shit. So I'm going to make a joke out of them. And the best way to fight something that eradicates childhoods and erases humanity is with childish whimsy.
J&D?
My brain thought you were saying jaundice.
My God.
So that's how that went.
Mom. Where was I?
2-minute psychometry.
Yes, the way to do a 2-minute psychometry is simply to start talking to the person at the highest possible tone level. So imagine just going up to a person, just being like, "Oh my God, hi, how you doing today?" And just fucking, oh Jesus, that's gonna be annoying real fast.
Hi, how are you? Shoot.
Okay, now we go down.
Whew.
Christ. To talk at the highest possible tone level, creatively and constructively, and then gradually drop the tone of one's conversation down to the point where it achieves response from the person. I mean, never mind the fact that you're already technically gonna get a response from the person. They're just gonna be very creeped out at what you're doing.
This next part, like, really just gives me such an ick.
An individual can be lifted only about half a point on the tone scale by conversation. So here's a dude at a car dealership or some shit, or a parking lot, I don't fucking know, yelling at this man about something.
Yeah, so at first he's like meeting him with anger, and that's not gonna lift anything up. So if he's responding to anger with boredom, it's gonna lift him up out of anger and into, oh, what's above anger? What's above anger? Let me see. Pain. So by responding to a person's anger with boredom, you can make them in pain.
One of the dumbest sentences I've ever heard in my life. Oh, God.
Like, what? Oh, and by the way, it goes from 1.5 to 1.8, which makes a lot of sense.
Wait, so boredom is 1.8. Anger is 1.5. What is pain?
Pain is 1.8.
Oh, then what the fuck is boredom?
Boredom is 2.5.
So by responding to a person's 1.5 with 2
With
or
2.5, you can
person's
raise them
tongue can be
up
lifted
to pain.
to pain. Wait, hold on.
Wow, golly gee, thanks, mister.
Or is it, wait. So
Or does it say it could be raised 0.5?
Is chill dude responding to angry guy with boredom?
Yeah.
And in most cases, so let's say you're screaming at somebody, and if you see that they're so bored about the situation, I know to a lot of people that will make them even angrier because you're not reacting in any way.
Thus the pain. I guess.
God.
Unless you're trying to raise them a full 0.5, and then you're going to take them from angry to antagonism, and then you're just going to get punched in the fucking face.
I can officially say my brain hurts.
I know.
I am at page 22.
And then imagine you've paid for this.
Oh, you've paid to practice this.
You've dedicated your life.
Ew.
I wonder how many 12-day sessions you can get in a billion-year contract.
Give me a second, I'll do the math. Oh, you mean 12.5-hour sessions? Or
Oh, no. I'm talking how many 12, you know what I mean? Like 12-day sessions. How many of those do you get in a billion-year contract?
365 days a year. Well, 365 billion days divided by 12 days. 30,416,666,666.
That's how many Jack Parsons sessions you can have. Okay? I'm just saying, this is what's at stake. Do you want to be happy and free? Or do you want to be able to have 30 billion sessions with Jack Parsons?
Ugh,
It's only friendship, folks.
that's a lot of fluids all over the house.
That's, I mean, we're gonna need the ethics routine. I think we're gonna have to change the shipwide dysentery ethics rundown. We're gonna have to make one
Yeah.
for. No, I can't. No, that's just too. That's no.
Ugh.
I'm done. I'm done with the sentence. Thank you so much. That's fine. No, that's fine. That'll be fine. I know. I would be hungry if I wasn't reading something that was so absolutely revolting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, give me just a couple minutes.
Wait, me give you a
Gonna
couple
have-
minutes, or other people give you a couple minutes?
Other people give me a couple minutes. I've got to help make some stuff. So.
Okay. Hold on. Wizard says, I've known people in the church that send their kids to private school so they don't get forced on psych meds. Boredom's 2.5. You're supposed to use your TRs and not show a reaction. Streets LA, by the way, is live on his other channel, just for a little shout out. Hank Baum, this is an emotional tone scale pamphlet handbook booklet thing. It is in my archives under Church of Scientology, church produced material, books and booklets, or booklets and books, however, whichever fucking folder that's called. But go under the booklets section and you'll find it. Scientology. Okay. All right, where the fuck? An individual best responds to his. My brain's like, where was I? But my brain is also like, why are you continuing?
I know.
Because my brain's also hoping that there's going to be something like really, really, really interesting coming up. An individual best responds to his own tone band, and an individual can only be lifted about half a point on the tone scale by conversation. In doing this type of psychometry, one should not carry any particular band of conversation too long, not more than a sentence or two, because this will have a tendency to raise slightly the tone of the person and so spoil the accuracy of the test. 2 minutes
Because you're
psychometry.
experimenting on people.
You know,
you're
you don't care
experimenting.
about them.
They're subjects for you to practice on.
That's so gross.
Unconsensually.
2 minute psychometry then is done first by announcing something creative and constructive and seeing whether the person responds in kind, then giving forth some casual conversation, perhaps about sports, and seeing if the person responds. Why did you need to mention the sports?
Because he's a man.
And knowing
Needs
Scientologists,
everyone to
they
know.
will specifically talk about sports in these drills.
Sports. I love being straight and watching sports.
Sport ball. With the touchdown baskets.
Gotta support the team. Gotta support the team.
Getting no response, start talking antagonistically about things which the person knows, but not, of course, about the person, to see if he achieves a response at this point. Then give forth with a sentence or two of anger against some condition. Then indulge in a small amount of discreditable gossip and see if there's any response to that. If this doesn't work, then dredge up some statements of hopelessness and misery. Somewhere in this range, the person will agree with the type of conversation being offered. That is, he will respond to it in kind. A conversation can then be carried on along this band where the person has been discovered, and one will rapidly gain enough information to make a good first estimate of the person's position on the chart.
So we could use this as that drill against them.
Start off really happy and then work our way down to anger and apathy?
You'd be like, hey, I was reading some affirmations by L. Ron Hubbard. And you'd start off, right? Really, really happy, giving it all. I read some affirmations by L. Ron Hubbard. Super, super enthusiastic. Some discreditable gossip. Oh, I've heard he took a ton of drugs.
Pinks and grays.
Whew, I don't know, but, he had only friendship for Jack Parsons.
Only friendship.
And then we see where they react, and we find out where they are on the tone scale. And how easy it'll be to pull them out of the cult.
Yeah, that'd actually be kind of interesting, seeing how you could use this against them. But that's if they stick around long enough to talk to you. And don't just run inside like a bunch of bitches.
And then all they can think about is, who's Jack Parsons? And then they're going to Google it. And then they're going to
find out about 12 days.
On the 12th day of Parson Miss. Oh, okay, anyway. I can't. We got to finish this.
This 2 minute psychometry by conversation can also be applied to groups. That speaker who desires to command his audience must not talk above or below his audience's tone more than half a point. Everyone in the audience is going to have a different tone level. So what the fuck do
Unless they're all fucking bored.
Unless they're all fucking Scientologists.
Then you should know where they are.
If he wishes to lift the audience's tone, he should talk about half a point above their general tone level. An expert speaker using this 2 minute psychometry and carefully noting the responses of his audience can, in 2 minutes, discover the tone of the audience, whereupon all he has to do is adopt a tone slightly above theirs. The tone scale and the chart of human evaluation are the most important tools ever developed for the prediction of human behavior. Employ these tools and you will at all times know who you are dealing with, who to associate with, who to trust.
So you know what I'm getting from this? That he wants everyone to know that he can't last longer than 2 minutes. It's all you need, folks. It's all you need.
Is this also a sign of like a potential ADHD?
I'm not saying anything.
And oh, by the way, one thing wait, hold on. Wizard Allen said they break down the handbook into little booklets for new people to take what's called a mini course for $35, booklet included. I did the one on assists. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. They can assist this.
Yep. Right up their fucking
And then they can
asses.
audit my asshole.
Damn right. No, but there's one thing I think about still on occasion that my brain is just like, why the fuck did I say that? And I think it was the first ever stream I did with you. And it was the moment where I don't remember what the context was, but I said the phrase, yeah, weren't you diagnosed with whatever? And we just fucking died laughing. Oh shit. Hold on.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that live. That was funny. That was really, really funny. Weren't you diagnosed with whatever? I think that's what it was. Did you kick yourself out of your own live? Did you leave me here with the tone scale? Oh no.
Hello?
Hello.
What the fuck?
I never want to be left alone with the tone scale for that long
I'm
ever
so
again.
sorry. I should never have done that to you.
Specifically, 100% on purpose, intentionally.
I'm trying to figure out why the camera's not working.
Because it knows that I'm supposed to go. Yeah, I should mosey, but I wanted to wait for you to get back, so I didn't abandon you. If you're there.
I'm here. Hello.
Okay. Hello. Now I can hear you.
Can't figure out what's going on with my camera. That's fucking weird because it shows that it's being recognized in StreamYard.
There's Thetans in your computer. That's all I can tell you.
Jeez.
We've done too much suppressive work here. We've done too much suppressive squirreling and exposure and making too many jokes and having too much fun, and it's just not acceptable.
Seriously.
But I should go. But thank you so much for having me on to suffer.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for being willing to do this, and I hope we can pick this up at some other point soon.
Yeah, I'd love to do more of these. There's a lot to break down. There's a lot to read.
The next part is all the exercises. So it's I did check. It only mentioned those same 3 questions. It didn't mention
there's no
any
other.
others.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not missing too much there then.
No.
But yeah.
All right. Thank you for being a DB queen today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And stay suppressive.
And thanks to y'all for joining. Peace
Take care,
out.
chat. Be kind to yourselves. Drink water.
Bye. All right. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Let me try to figure out what's going on with the camera. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.